So the reason why Deepak Nitrite is going so much, going high so much, is because of the boom that is happening due to China's inability to do anything. The reason why what that's happening is China currently has basically shut its manufacturing plants, not only with chemicals, but it's also shut down its aluminum plants, its textile plants. So a lot of metal sector will slowly start rallying in the future. They did rally a little bit. They went up by 5-7%, but Deepak Nitrite has gone up quite significantly. And if you want me to show you how that looks, let me show you that as well, right? Just give me one sec. Yeah. So see this. Let me just go back. Now, if you look at Deepak, the market obviously is still open. By the way, the market turned so much today. Did you guys see how the market has turned? The market has turned so much today. By that, I mean is that the market was up, right, in the morning. We saw that the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 last night closed obviously on a higher note. So obviously we opened at a higher note today. But then if you look at the market right now, it did a massive reversal, right? Massive reversal as in this was, by the way, today we did a new thing. Let me show you this. Let me show you something. We hit a new high today, something slightly significant. Let me open Bank Nifty for you guys. So Bank Nifty today actually, one sec, let me switch off all of this for you guys. Yeah, Bank Nifty today basically went up to 38,100, right? So Bank Nifty actually went up a lot today. It even broke the 38,000 barrier. So when it actually broke the 38,000 barrier, it was superb because this has not happened in the past. So now finally it has gone up. And then look at this, right? As soon as it hit the 38,000 barrier, people thought it'll crash. It did crash. It went up to 38,100 and then slowly come down from almost 200, 250 points, right? Now everything is going down because of the selling pressure, and you can see there are a lot of sellers out there in the bottom. So this is something that's very interesting that's happened because the entire market was going in an upward journey today, and then suddenly it just came down in a downward journey. So all the people who were doing intraday trading, if they went on a put option, then you guys would have made a lot of money. But the main point of contention here is we were talking about Deepak Nitrite. And by the way, Deepak Nitrite has finally hit 100% returns from our small case, right? So remember we did that small case in the past, I told you. So Deepak Nitrite has finally hit 100%. So we got two stocks that have finally hit 100%. So if you want, I'll just show it to you guys as well. Right, the reason why I'm showing this to you is because we made a pact, right? We said very early in the past when we did this entire small case thing that we will not sell for 1 year, and whatever happens, whether it's zero returns, minus returns, or positive returns, we will see how fundamental analysis starts coming into the picture. And if you open the 30,000 small case, it was 50% last week. Now it's 60%, right? So it's gone up. And if you look at these two, right, Deepak Nitrite has gone up more than Happiest Minds. So it's given 129% return since we bought it in Feb 2021. Yeah, this year Feb we bought it. Feb 21st is when I bought it, and you can see how it's gone up, and I've not touched this. Feb 19th I've bought it and I've not touched this till now. I've not exited it, and you see how it has slowly gone up. So we have two stocks that have crossed 100%. Laurus is at 68, Naveen Fluorine is at 60%, and we still have around 6 months to go, right? So we don't know what will happen. Maybe this will go down again, but it will not go down by 100% unless the entire market crashes. But maybe this will go down again, we don't know. And if you look at IEX, it's also up by 8. These three have not performed yet, so we're still waiting for these three to perform, but these are fundamentally strong stocks, so we're just gonna sit and wait. Yeah, so this is what it's insane because it just shot up, and even this is shooting up. Why? Because of Deepak Nitrite itself. Ambuja Cements also gave some crazy rally. So yeah, just giving you guys a heads up on how everything works. So this is why I keep saying that fundamental analysis is superb and you should keep it for a long period of time. Now, in today's episode, okay, we're going to talk about a few sectors that are going to boom in the future, right? Not only right now, but I'm only here for the fundamental analysis for the future. So I'm going to do, this is a follow-up video from our sectors to boom part 1, right? So in this episode, I'm going to talk about few sectors that are going to boom in the next coming futures. And can someone guess the 3 futures that are going to boom in the next future? One is actually booming right now, right? I made this presentation a week ago. Debjani obviously made it. But one is already booming right now. And that, can someone tell me? I'm going to show you a slight example right now, right? Yeah, it's full chemistry. I'm a finance guy, no chemistry, so crazy. But so basically specialty chemicals, basically the sector number one that is booming a lot, and it's continued to boom right from the last 1 year. When COVID happened, the chemical sector was the first sector to actually boom a lot. That's when we took in our positions with Deepak Nitrite, and we took in our positions with Navin Fluorine. And if you see how it is slowly moving up, right now, if you look at this, chemical market is basically projected to reach a $300 billion market by 2025, and there is strong domestic consumption and favorable labor cost is pushing this play, right? So there's strong domestic consumption that's happening, and 1/3 of China, and favorable labor cost that is happening, which is 1/3 that of China. And government is also pushing all the chemical stocks to do really well. Now, if you look at the other thing, right, there's a lot of companies right now in the chemical space. They're improving their product mix. They're not sitting on one single product. They're trying to make different type of chemistry. They're trying to also go with economies of scale while also looking at backward integration, right? What do I mean by backward integration? From start to finish, they want to bridge the entire gap so that there is no leakage anywhere. So full start to end, the chemical sector players are currently heavily investing right now. And the main reason why chemical sector is going up is mostly because of the China's chemical industry, right? China's chemical industry obviously was doing really well. China's chemical industry was undercutting everyone on the prices. Obviously they have the cheapest prices. And now what's happening, because of China's strict environmental laws, which we already did a video about it, right? A strict environmental laws of China is creating a massive impact, and obviously it's helping me and you, right? Why? Because Deepak Nitrite is going up and fundamental analysts are currently winning the market. So this is what is happening right now. Now, if you look at the value chain of chemical industry, now this was picked up from the Capital Mind website, right? Now, if you look at how it works, there is bulk chemicals, then there is specialty chemicals, agrochemicals, pharma and biotech. Whereas bulk chemicals basically has 39% stake in the entire chemical industry. Specialty chemicals holds to 20% stake, and then agrochem holds 20% stake. Rest are slightly small. Don't worry, I'll share this presentation with you guys for further education. You guys can take it after this video. Yeah. Now, what is happening now? If for any sector to grow, you need a lot of demand. Number one, you need a lot of policy support. What do I mean by policy support? The government should help this entire ecosystem grow, and you should see a lot of investment happening in this particular sector. Now we can see that in this sector, all of them are happening, right? If you see that there's growing demand because there are high real disposable incomes, lot of consumptions happening in Asia and Southeast Asia, a lot of international demand is also happening. Now there's a new policy that's come out that there's 100% FDI under the automatic route in chemical sector. So a lot of international players can start investing in this sector as well. And then you can also see that there's a lot of increasing investments happening, a lot of capex investments happening. People are investing not only in India, but people are going to Thailand and building big factories, right? That we saw in few companies before this. So all this is driving. And why is India like poised to win, or why is India looking to win this, which is called Advantage India, is because there's rise in growing demand, there's increasing investments and spending, as we mentioned in the previous slide. There's also massive opportunity that is there, because now we are becoming the global hub for chemical, right? Earlier we were not the global hub, China was the global hub. Now we are becoming the global hub for chemical. And also there's a lot of policy support with respect to PLI schemes. Now obviously if you look at PLI schemes, there's massive PLI schemes, and basically the union budget has allocated 233 crores to the Department of Chemical and Petrochemicals. Now 233 crores is not very big compared to what they've allocated to other industries, but chemical industry is like little sitting on a monopolistic state right now, so that means it's very good for us, right? Awesome. Now look at some of the key players. Now a lot of people keep asking me key players. So I'm going to show you some of the big key players. Okay, so some of the key players in the chemical sector that actually move everything a lot is Pidilite, Tata Chems, UPL. UPL is slightly in the agrochem space, Gujarat Fluorochemicals, and Reliance Industries, because it's in the petrochemical space. Now don't worry, what I'm seeing is that I'm going to do one episode purely on the top 3 plays or top 3 picks of mine for the chemical sector, right? Obviously one is Deepak, but the other 2 I will reveal soon. I'm going to do a separate video on like how I did the 3 IT stocks. I'm going to do 3 chemical stocks in the chemical sector that I'm going to hold for a long period of time, and I'm already holding some of them for a very long period of time. Now, if you look at some of the chemical stocks that have highest mutual fund holdings, you look at SRF, there's Aarti Industries, Deepak Nitrite, Atul Limited, Vinati Organics, Alkyl Amines, and Navin Fluorine. Look at the number of holdings that they have. Atul has 20% mutual fund holdings. Navin Fluorine has 13.4. Alkyl Amines very low at 1.4. But if you look at everyone else, look at the market cap. Obviously, SRF is sitting at a very, very high market cap right now, right? Can someone guess which is the next sector that I'm going to talk about? Now, obviously, you guys know this sector very well, very clearly. It is the electric vehicle sector. Damn cool image, right? Background is so cool. Now, I've done an extensive video. The last video that I did in my channel, you can check it out, is about Tata's EV universe, where I spoke a lot about how the electric vehicle segment works in India. But for all the people who haven't seen that video and are watching this for the first time, I'm going to show you some of the key things that are important in the electric vehicle segment. Now, again, all of this is not to tell you which stock to buy or whatever. This is not some stock recommendation. This is only for you to understand how these different industries work and how you can become an expert in a particular industry. Okay. Now, if you look at electric vehicle, obviously everyone wants to go the less energy alternative route, the eco-friendly route. They don't want to use a lot of oil, because oil and petrol and diesel is becoming so expensive in India, especially in India. There's a lot of rising pollution, and a lot of people are trying to curb this pollution and reduce the carbon footprint in their entire country, right? Now, if you look at the role of EV, how can a sector do well? There has to be investment, right? There has to be growth in that sector, and there has to be policy changes. So is this happening? Let's look at it. Obviously, government has come up with a lot of schemes to enhance electric vehicle adoption in India. So that is one thing that is very good. Then a lot of battery providers are also being given a lot of incentives to do this as well. We need energy suppliers, we need battery providers, we need infrastructure players. Infrastructure means people who are setting up the entire electric vehicle power plants, charging plants. So we need them also. So all of these things are very important for electric vehicle to do well. Now, the major players here in this market are Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, MG Motor, Electra Greentech. Electra Greentech is something that deals with electric buses. You might have seen this in Mumbai. And they have JBM Auto Limited also. Now, if you look at the components here of the EV ecosystem, there are demand side and supply side factors and enablers for this. Now, if you look at demand side, there's a lot of subsidies and incentives that the government is giving with respect to taxation benefits, right? So if you're buying a electric vehicle, you can actually get some kind of tax evasion. I mean, not tax evasion, but you can actually get some kind of tax deduction when it comes to EMI, when you pay the EMI of the electric vehicle. And if you look at supply side, obviously a lot of people currently are not very keen on electric vehicle. But if you look at this, a lot of manufacturing incentives are being given to a lot of industries building electric vehicle parts, especially with tax holidays, special zones, subsidized rates, etc. Right? And enablers are people who are actually charging infrastructure people. So obviously you need people like Tata Motors who will build the entire charging infrastructure to help this take forward. Now, this is the same graph, right? Just put in a graphic format. Now, if you look at the overall political structure that's involved in electric vehicle planning, look at this, right? Obviously, there's PMO and there's Niti Aayog. And now look at this. There is Department of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. There is Power and Renewable Energy Ministry, then Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Roads, and Departments of Science and Technology. Now, all of these different departments are doing their small bit to ensure that the electric vehicle adoption comes into the picture, right? And all of these things you should keep in mind, because we know which stocks to look at when it comes to electric vehicle segment. Now, obviously, there are challenges faced by the electric vehicle space. Some of the challenges I spoke about yesterday, where you'll randomly see some people running across the road, or you'll see one auto guy coming directly in the middle of the car, or you might just see a dog or a cow in the middle of the road. The electric vehicle will stop, पीछे से आके ठोक देगा तेरे को, right? This is something that might happen. So the software has to accommodate for all of this, right? Even Elon would get slightly confused if he builds the software for India. Now, the challenges faced by this is lower mileage, insufficient charging infrastructure, high cost because it's expensive, it's not commoditized till now. There's high dependency on imports, there's limited options, and there's a lot of challenges with respect to grid, right? A lot of challenges with respect to grid because infrastructure is not yet built right now. So infrastructure build करने में बहुत time लगेगा, and it'll take a significant amount of time, right? Now, if you look at the size of the EV business, or if the size of the EV component business, like the small things that are required for EV to grow. Now, by the way, EV is not only for cars. A lot of people think electric vehicle is only for cars, right? EV is for scooters, EV is for autos, EV is for cars, and EV is for buses. Now, there are so many components that people are building. Now, for scooters, we see Hero MotoCorp doing really well. We have Ather Energy. For buses, we have Electra Greentech. For cars, obviously, we have so many players. For auto, I'm not sure who it is right now. So, right? We still don't know who it is for auto. But this is the entire biggest industry, right? Look at the number of industry, how big it is. It's going to reach $4.8 billion in 2025. This basically means that this is a growing industry. But as simple as that, this is a growing industry. And if you look at this, charging stations is the smallest industry, whereas battery is going to be the biggest industry. So all these things you should check out. Now, what are the stocks that might be affected by electric vehicle, right? Electric vehicle, what might be affected? There's Hindustan Copper, Graphite India, Hindalco, all these are required for raw materials, and there's Tata Chem for battery, Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors, Greaves Cotton, Amar Raja Battery for battery, Hero Motocorp for two-wheelers, Exide Industries, Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra and Mahindra, etc. Right? So all these different things are there that might win the electric vehicle space. Yeah. Now, this is something that I showed yesterday, the perfect ecosystem for Tata Universe. So for all the people who missed out yesterday's episode where we spoke about the entire electric vehicles play in depth, this is how Tata is planning to win the entire EV space, right? Where it comes to battery, they have Tata Chemicals. Where it comes to parts, they have Tata Autocoms. When it comes to vehicle sale and vehicle design, they have Tata Motors. Then they have Tata Motor Finance and Tata Capital give you loan on these cars. Then they have Tata Power to set up the charging stations. After sales, again, Tata Motors comes into it. Now, if you look at anything with respect to technology, Tata Elxsi is going to come into this. So Tata is like a team of Avengers. Yes, you're right, Saurav. Tata is like a team of Avengers. Now, can someone tell me which is the third industry that is going to do well, right? Because this is again the future and you already have heard about it. The third industry that's going to do well, and we've all heard about this, is the 5G industry, right? 5G, the adoption of 5G. Okay. Now, what is going to happen in 5G? We don't know, but let's look at some of the key elements here. Now, what is 5G? 5G is basically going to give you higher flexibility, lower cost and shorter lead times. Now, basically what's happening, I don't know how many of you will remember this, how many of you are old enough to remember this, but do you remember the time when we had 2G? Do you remember the time when we had Edge? EDGE bolke, you used to see it on the top right? We had Edge, we had 2G, and then when 3G came, we were all so happy that, oh my god, 3G came in that point. Then we came up to 4G, but you remember how fast the internet connection has been with Edge plus 2G, 3G, 4G, now we're entering 5G. But you remember the speeds at that point. What is the speed of Edge plus? When we used to use BlackBerry, I don't know how many of you used to use BlackBerry BBM. At that point, we had 2G, right? And then 3G came up, the speed was better. 4G, the speed was better. Now imagine you using today's apps and today's technologies to do real-time transactions in an Edge Plus environment or in a 2G environment, right? You're using Google Maps for 2G or you're using Zerodha's live intraday trading at 2G space, right? What would happen to you? Not good, right? Now look at this. Now we've moved into a 5G era. Now what happens with 5G era? Everything's going to become ultra fast, faster than what it was. We might go into 6G tomorrow, but abhi ke liye the next set of next few years is going to be in the 5G space, and this is going to increase a lot of connectivity, decrease a lot of connectivity issues, and it's going to be really good, right? Now what happens here? Who benefits? 5G is going to bring the adoption of super fast internet, and when super fast internet is going to be there, we're going to have IoT kicking in at this point, where we're going to have smart sensors, because now smart sensors can actually do well. Yes, Starlink, a lot of people are talking about Starlink and JioFiber, but we don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. The stage is still open. We don't know who's going to win the 5G space. Maybe there won't be one winner, there'll be multiple winners. But what I'm saying is a lot of people are investing in 5G, and people are believing that this 5G industry will be a $1 trillion industry by 2025, right? So it's going to be one of the smart thing. And with 5G, more than you're calling people and calling your friends and girlfriends, 5G is going to help with Digital India, which is smart cities, okay, and they're also going to do smart village. So there's going to be a lot of smart stuff. Why do I mean smart? That means IoT is going to kick in at this point. Now, if you look at the 5G market penetration forecast, look at how 5G will be used in 2040, right? Almost 92% or 95% of the people will be using at least 5G technology by 2040. Now, if you think that is the case, imagine what is the adoption that's going to be there, and imagine all the possible, opportunities that will open when 5G comes into the space. Now, what are the industrial applications? 5G is not, again, I told you, it's not for you and your girlfriend to sit and talk all night, right? Acha connectivity mil raha hai, whatever, right? It is not for that. It is more for smart cities. It is more going to be used in industrial applications where there's going to be remote control systems. There's going to be industrial robots with IoT. There's going to be remote monitoring and quality control. Why? Because it's so fast, you can come in real time. Cloud is going to be super important at this point, right? Make a small case for 5G. Yeah, one day I'll make it, not an issue. And if you look at healthcare applications, now a lot of healthcare benefits are also there, because I can now start getting real-time monitoring of my grandmom who's not, maybe somewhere in the hospital. I can get all her data and all the statistics maybe on my phone. I can get my prescription online. I can get telemedicine, which is I can video call someone if I'm coughing and I don't know what's happening to me. Remote surgery is something that's happening now, where there are people at a different part of the world trying to do operation through a robotic arm. Right now, imagine if they had to do robotic surgery from different part of the world with Edge Plus or 2G. Would that ever be possible? Impossible, right? So the speed is increasing. When the speed increases, all this is going to be much better. Now, apart from 5G in industrial use case, there's also use case in soil and crop. Now, if you have seen, there are a lot of agriculture startups coming, agri-tech they're calling it, right? Where all your soil and crop are using IoT right now, are using sensors to figure out whether the crop is going to yield better or not. Precision farming is getting upgraded now, right? You're going to get more produce, you're going to get better harvest for the same amount of land. Now, if you look at smart irrigation, there's climate change equipment, there's livestock monitoring, and obviously agricultural drones are coming into the picture. Now, everyone's moving into agriculture, but they're doing smart agriculture at that point. Now, if you look at the digital core everything is going to be digital, where the entire supply chain is going to be connected from the factory to the product to the end customer to customer call. Everything is going to be the same way, right? Now, if you look at how it's going to affect the energy sector. Now, energy is also there. I don't know how many of you all have seen this, but there are a lot of startups creating these IoT plugs that you can put a plug and then put your fridge there. It'll exactly tell you how much your fridge is consuming, how much data your fridge is consuming. And then after that, it'll also tell whether you're sitting at home or not. You can actually be on your way home and switch on your AC or switch off your AC. So all that is happening basically with smart power generation, smart power management. So if IoT kicks in a way, all the people like the Reliance Energy and the Adani Energy, all the people that you're using electricity from, if you use smart plugs, you in fact will be using less energy, so it's beneficial for you, but for them it's less revenue because everyone's become smart now, so there's no wastage of electricity. Crazy, right? So imagine their stocks might go down and your money might go up at that point. So again, all these are very, I'm going to share this entire presentation. Aram se in your free time, go have a look at it, read it, gain as much knowledge as possible, because once you gain this knowledge, you can figure out a way where you can understand how to grow your money, right? Now, if you look at this fixed broadband and 4G LTE limitations of the entire key broadband limitations is, if you remember a few years ago, there was the entire roads were being dug up left, right, center, right? Because they were putting fibers under the ground. So all these things were happening at that point. There's massive limitation. Every time you need to upgrade massively, you need to do a lot of infrastructural changes. The country needs to go through a drastic change, and now people are doing that, right? Now, data speed for 5G is expected to be 10 gigahertz per second. Now, we don't know how much whether we'll actually get 10 gigahertz per second or how much we'll actually be limited to. So we don't know. But again, we will figure out all this very soon. Again, I want to tell you guys to give a big round of applause for Debjani for making this presentation. So it's so easy for me to come and teach you guys about a new topic every single day, right? If she's not creating presentations at this pace, I won't be coming and making videos at this pace, right? So again, just click on the like button for Debjani or put in the comments saying hats off Debjani, right? Now, one second. Okay, so that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you guys understood this. So I just want to tell you guys one more thing, that I will be making a separate video, my top 3 picks for the chemical space. Now, if you feel that, okay, Shashank, maybe you should make some other video or top 3 about some other sector, put in the comments below, because I read the comments a lot, right? That's why I keep asking you guys to comment below, because I read the comments a lot. So if you guys have any recommendations, I keep looking at it. I will come and do a thing about that as well. Tomorrow I'm doing a crypto video. I don't know whether you guys would like it or not. Do you guys like crypto video? So tomorrow I'm planning to do a crypto video, which is basically top 5 coins to look at in 2021, especially in October, because there are a few coins that are coming up with a lot of updates. So I'm going to do not Shiba, please, not Shiba Inu. But tomorrow I'm doing one video on crypto. So for all the people who want to come and check it out, you can come check it out at 2:30 p.m. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to show you some 4-5 coins that I'm a little bullish on. Again, it's not a recommendation, it's just for your understanding. Okay, so put in the comments below if you have any no shit coins, don't worry. Put in the comments below if you have any more recommendations. Me and Deb are always watching and trying to make some crazy videos for you guys. Okay, again, thank you guys. This is me, Shashank Gudappa.